Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Buypoint ASX. I am Mac in Oz. Today we're looking at Medicus, PME on the ASX. Medicus is a medical imaging sensation, and I'm suggesting that now is the time you look at getting in on the extraordinary growth the company has experienced. As we see in the basic black chart, you can see that the company has a long history indicating that it is not a flash in the pan. You can see that the company has a history in the past of increasing its market capitalisation by a factor of 50. But what is more interesting to serious and long-term investors, rather than people trying to find a winner in the small cap space, is this performance over the last 5 years. Now, here is the most recent spurt of growth on a simple chart. You can see it starts in January 2023 when the price was $60. And by a couple of weeks ago, that price had increased by more than 400%. For people who are saying that you can't make big profits on the ASX, that you have to go to the American exchanges, I would have thought 400% in 2.5 years was a pretty tidy return. Okay, so here is the immediate chart showing that this is the 200-day simple moving average, that the company has only once touched the 200-day simple moving average over the last 18 months, thanks to Drongo Donny. And down here we see, and this is an interesting thing to point out, Buypoint ASX is working on a fairly fundamental idea, which is that these buy points, when the MACD line cuts upward through the signal line below the zero line, that this is the most reliable indication of a time to buy a stock on the ASX that you're going to find. And what you see with really successful stocks like PME is that these occasions come along very rarely, because if a stock is growing, the opportunity to buy into the stock with a reasonable confidence that the stock is going to continue to grow, which is what the below the zero line requirement is all about, means that you do need to look for opportunities to get into these stocks at the best time. And what you see over here is that we are right on the cusp of a new buy point. Now, I just thought that I would quickly introduce the whole concept of the MACD to those who haven't picked it up yet. These are the simple elements of the MACD. MACD stands for Moving Average Convergence and Divergence. I recommend you go to Investopedia if you want a more fulsome explanation. But this is the MACD line, the blue line. This is the signal line, the orange line, and this is the zero line. And this is the MACD crossover point, which I describe as a buy point. So this is what we're always looking for before we either begin investing in a stock or add to the capital allocation of a stock. Okay, so here are the fundamentals of Medicus. You can see that it is a very significant company with a market capitalisation of over 30 billion. PE ratio is not for the faint-hearted, but this is what you experience with a tech company which is growing rapidly. This obviously is what is most important of all things, constantly growing revenues. Even better is a constantly growing operating margin, and as an expression of both of those things, you see that net profit after abnormals is continuing. The dividend is virtually non-existent, but size and profits are what we are looking for. Okay, now here are the 10-year forecasts and the results so far. You can see that Pro Medicus has been performing brilliantly, meeting expectations in each of those years, only once surprising the market with a positive surprise, and you can see that this growth trend by the very conservative Morningstar is expected to continue unabated. Now, obviously, these recommendations are coming from me, but I thought it would be instructive and useful to point out what all the other commentators in the commentariat are saying about Pro Medicus. Now, Livewire Markets is not a source of information that I would recommend to anyone, but you can see that at least one person with a voice in the mainstream commentariat regards Pro Medicus as the highest quality company on the ASX. And here is perhaps the final and best reason to be confident of the profitability of Pro Medicus in the very important United States market moving into the future, and that is that this idiot has no known opinion about medical imaging software. I'll leave it at that. Here is the disclaimer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.